This is Robert Martelacci of the MindShare Learning Report. Welcome to the April edition focused on wireless and mobility. I'm here at the Toronto District School Board Dell Connected Classroom event here at Sir Adambeck, and I have the good fortune of interviewing Paul Bell, who is the president of the global education sector for Dell. Good morning, Paul, and thank you for joining us. It was a really interesting session this morning that was led by Chris Spence, the new director of the Toronto School District, talking about the journey of hope and how technology will play an integral role. And you've forged a new partnership with the Toronto District. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been very exciting. And what we're demonstrating today and officially launching here in Canada is something we call the Connected Classroom that has been in place in a number of classrooms around the world that is really trying to figure out how we can effectively use technology to drive student achievement, which is sort of the holy grail, so to speak, that people have been pursuing for a long time. We think we've put together a lot of technologies and approaches that will make a big difference now in education.
Well, part of the background noise, we're actually in Sir Adambeck School here today and visiting a couple of classrooms. And so this installation isn't new to you. You bring a global view, and you talked about that and the value of public-private partnerships and some of the lessons learned, if you will, from previously unsuccessful installations.
Yeah, we have equipped over 2 million classrooms around the world, and there are various combinations of how they use technology. People are still experimenting to a certain extent, but we've learned some important lessons, because just putting technology in the classroom doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So here's some of the things. Number one, we're all seeing that the engagement of kids today with interactive technology keeps them in the game, where it's just sort of sitting back and listening to the lecture doesn't as much. Number two, giving teachers the professional development so that they're really creating the content and deciding how they're going to work with it, and makes them the ones who become passionate about it and leading about it. It's absolutely critical. You skip that step, it's going to fail. Giving them tools like real-time assessment. Teachers are often telling us, put a lot of work in to set up this technological approach, but I'm going to be more efficient, I'm going to save time elsewhere, and that can include in testing and seeing where the kids are and adapting their teaching style based on that instant feedback, rather than a test they might give every 2 weeks or so.
Fantastic. Well, this is one of a number of future installations that you're planning in Toronto and across the country. What is your strategy when it comes to that?
The first thing right now is to build early successes. Everybody is trying to see measurable improvement in student achievement. We know just from the qualitative feel the kids love it, they feel engaged. These are the most technologically savvy people on the planet right now. And we know it's working from that perspective, but we want to get in and prove the educational outcomes are there. So it's great to partner with the Toronto School Board, with the faculty here at this school, and we're doing that all over the world, and with the idea of sharing experiences among the early innovators who adopted this.
Talk to me for a moment about the value of the partnership, because oftentimes there's been a stigma in the past with regard to corporate involvement in education, and this one seems to really make sense.
Yeah, it does, because what we can bring is a lot of technology options, a lot of building blocks, and we can combine them. We have to always respect the fact that it's the educators who have to decide what's going to work best. That's not what we are. We actually have a team of people, many of whom are trained in education, have been in the classroom, but now we work as a technology provider. Our job is to work with each school district, each community at whatever level, and say, okay, here's your educational objectives, let's work with you and put a whole package together. There's an important role there because it's a fragmented market. There's lots of little curriculum software providers, lots of little this and that. We actually work on a global scale and can work either at the individual classroom, at the school, at the Toronto School Board. We can work nationally. I mentioned to you a project we did in Mexico with 60,000 schools across the country, because that one was done at the national level.
Sure. Well, there's certainly many lessons learned, and that's the value that you bring to the table here. Congratulations on the partnership. That was Paul Bell, president of Dell Global in Education. Until next time, keep the learning curve steep.